Why weightlifting?
The squats, the clean and jerk, the snatch. I thought CrossFit was my purpose, but then I was like, weightlifting is my purpose.
Yeah.
Some days I don't. Who's Daddy Prison?
All right, day million down here in Miami. Just did another seminar, the final seminar of the trip with Hampton Morris, one of the most accomplished and currently one of the best male weightlifters in the United States. That was a blast. Right now I'm heading to a gym to meet up with a friendly British guy named Craig Richey. Right, okay. Now we're gonna do some lifting. I don't actually know what we're gonna do, but meeting up with him now. So what do we got today then?
Lazy weightlifting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just how it is. We're just both a little bit tired, so we went, what do you want to do? A pause triple, so the weight won't be like crazy. It's got the pause and take out the reflex. So we're just going in heavy, so when we hit a point where we're like, all right,
I feel like you always like a natural progression of what movement are we doing? Okay, what style?
You wanted to squat,
and then rep.
I picked the reps.
Yeah.
And then we just fight.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Craig. Why weightlifting?
Why weightlifting?
Yeah, everything was started with you, your brand, your YouTube channel was all CrossFit.
Yeah.
Why weightlifting?
I enjoy it. I don't know, I think I realized with CrossFit, like, I enjoyed doing CrossFit, but then the thing that I enjoyed the most about CrossFit was the strength training, like the squats, the clean and jerk, the snatch. And then I like that you can fine tune it and like, it's very cognitive for me. In a way. You know, like CrossFit is, you have good movement, you have to learn a lot, but also it's like, you can really hurt in workouts. And I didn't like the really hurt in workouts, I like the really hurt in weightlifting. You know, that like different sort of hurt. And I was like, I actually enjoy this and I really feel like I can push myself. And then I looked at the national records in Britain and I was like, I could probably go for them if I like committed.
I think.
And then I was like, let's do it. And now that I've done it, I wouldn't go back because I'm like, oh, it's really cool.
One of the traps that CrossFitters fall into is that they like the hurt without the reason.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
That's totally fine.
And
yeah,
like,
and also you can turn your brain off and hurt. Like you could just.
And everyone else around you, you know, it's like you could be competitive or non-competitive. You can do the workout, or you can be racing the guy next to you, and it's like that's what makes CrossFit so good.
Yeah.
Like I really like the individual. Like this is all on me. Sort of thing, and I'm like, I'm getting better, I'm wanting to move better, I'm wanting to get that a little bit stronger, I'm wanting to put the numbers on. I've called the numbers that I want to hit, and they're what I'm working towards. And it's like, I have that like funnel vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just feel like that's my satisfaction and that's my enjoyment and my purpose. I feel like the most important thing in life is to have a purpose. And sometimes you don't know what it is, you're like doing random things. Like I thought CrossFit was my purpose, but then I was like, weightlifting is my purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's just where like it gets you out of bed every day, and when you don't want to do it, you still do it, and then you're like, I love it. Some days I don't.
How much is that?
I don't know. I'm just going off colours.
But these are pound kilo.
It doesn't matter.
I think it's 245 plus 20 plus 50. 295. Does that sound about right?
Feel good. Just like
Normal shoes, no sleeves, belt, and just having the squat in my mind just start from the bottom. I get set and then I go, okay, I'm getting to the bottom, and then I'll figure it out from there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting set, fighting the whole time, getting in this weird thing. You got all your gear on. It just feels so good. What's up?
What's up?
What's up, y'all?
It was the
Craig
deep breath of
Richey.
like, oh yeah, legends.
We don't quit, legends.
Legends, yeah.
All right, stop. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
The coolest part about weightlifting is having sessions or types of sessions that you can check the box on. You'd be like, I know when I'm doing this workout, I'm in shape to hit this number. So for me, it was like, if I can confidently do triples at like 150 to 160, I know I'm going to be cleaning around 170.
Yeah.
For me. Do you feel like you have those at all? I know you have goals of what you want to hit, but like...
No, but I understand where my body's at.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
It's taken a long time to be like, when I'm hitting weights, some days I'm like, yeah, I feel snappy and good. And like, I could hit 140, 145 snatch, and like, lovely. Other days I'm warming up and I'm like, 130 is max today.
Yeah.
I like knowing that knowledge.
Right. So you feel, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's the whole thing is just a psychological experiment on yourself, like tampering expectations or actually having expectations, or
yeah. I said on a video recently, it's like I call it the 70% rule. If you go in and have a 7 out of 10 day, 10 times, you know, like you hit everything, it was good, but it's like you're not destroying your nervous system and you're not flying. Over 10 days, you get 70 points, right? If you go in one day, completely destroy it, hit close to your max, 10 out of 10 day, brilliant. And then because of that, you get affected, like, as natural athletes, you know, you need to recover the central nervous system. If you max out, you can take up to 2 weeks for your central nervous system to properly recover. So you'll have like 3 days of a 5 out of 10, then maybe you'll crush it again, you'll have a proper 10 out of 10 day. But over 10, so say if you went 10 out of 10, 3 5s, 10 out of 10, 3 5s, 10 out of 10,
2 additional 5s, I think. Yeah.
You get 65 or something.
Yeah. Right. So you got less points.
100, you've actually, even though you've had 3 killer days where you're like, I'm crushing it. I really like the consistency of knowing, like, I just got to keep putting in work, and weightlifting is not going to change in like 2, 3, 4 months. You need like years. Yeah. So I like that.
In the like Russians and the people who talked about periodization first, they talked about tonnage rather than daily inputs. So they weren't always just focused on the percentage of the day. It was the weekly tonnage, the monthly tonnage. We'll increase weekly tonnage. We'll increase.
Hold on. Who's Daddy Prison? But yeah, I like the consistency of being able to maintain growth over time.
Yeah, and what you just came up with is literally what the Russians, their ideas were. It was like, we're going to look less at the smallest we're going to look at is a microcycle, which is literally a week. We're not actually even going to look at daily inputs. Yeah. How much input can we put into 7 days? Yeah. Not how much input can we put into 1 day. Yeah. And when your mind starts thinking along those lines, it's massive. It's exactly what you just described.
It is funny because, you know, like, especially when you start a cycle and then towards like the 12th week, you're doing complexes that you were like, nah, I couldn't hit that weight at the 12th week to the first week. And you're like, oh no, it works. But you know, some days you don't see it over 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You're like, oh, the weights are getting heavier and this is hard. But then when you get to like 3 months down the line, you're like, there's such a drastic change. Yeah. But you don't, so many people I think expect to just go in, let's max out a squat today. And then like, I'm gonna be stronger. And then a few more days, and then they try and max out again and they don't do as well. And then they're like, but then they come a week later and they hit 1 kilo more and they're like, I'm definitely getting stronger. I'm like, man, if you just tone it, grow it. Expectations, man, that word, expectations, I think it's poisonous. So are you going, or are we just talking? I am gonna do a single. A single? Not for me, not for me. Not for me, not for me. Yeah, Yeah.
I mean, in the competition, you only got to hit one.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. Nice. I think your legs have gotten bigger. Seriously, do they feel like I don't know. It's hard to. Do they feel like they've been bigger? But like, they definitely have gotten bigger.